My dear friends in Jesus Christ, this is the first Sunday of Easter, and we are experiencing the power of the resurrected Lord. And it's a continuation of the last Sunday's reading, where we saw the supremacy of Pope, first Pope, Peter. And at the river Tiberias, Jesus came there and he was waiting at the shore after a tiresome night. Without the Lord, they caught nothing. And the Lord is waiting until they come in the morning, prepared breakfast, fish and bread, and it was ready. And then he asked, after having a great meal, he asked Peter, "Do you love me more than others do?" And it's a very deep question, my dear friends. When he asked Peter, "Do you love me more than others do?" it means you are special among all the others. You're going to be the Pope. You're going to be the first, the shepherd, where I'm going to build my church on. And you are Peter, which is Cephas, which is the rock and the foundation of the church. And then Peter said, "Lord, you know that I love you. If then feed my sheep. Take care of my sheep." The Lord is saying, it's his sheep. My dear friends, and that shepherding role is brought forth in the gospel today. So in the Bible, salvation history, we find this comparison between people of God and God, a shepherd and sheep relationship. It is very prominent in the Bible. So many a times we find, if you read the Old Testament properly, you find this sheep-shepherd relationship. For example, Ezekiel 34, if you read carefully, the Lord is putting the allegation of the false shepherd who killed the sheep, feed on them without caring them. And he was so broken and he was so sad, and he practically cursed all the shepherds, and he said, "You don't take care of your sheep. You don't go in search of the lost one. You don't bandage the wounded. You don't strengthen, direct the strong ones. You are not taking care of my sheep. So I'm going to take them from your hands. I am going to be their good shepherd." Today is Good Shepherd Sunday, my dear friends, and Vocation Sunday also. And today is Mother's Day, top of it. Our God is like a mother. Our God is a shepherd who really loves us, who takes care of us. When we go astray, when we are lost, when we are broken, when we are used, when we are stranded, He is the one shepherd who comes in search of us, bearing the stink of our life. A shepherd who really loves us. My dear friends, in the second reading, beautifully it is said, book of Revelation, it's a writing towards a persecuted church, when starting from Nero, and the persecution went about nearly 3 centuries, and it was hard, it was difficult. And John is writing from Patmos to the people who are persecuted, and he's giving strength because it is needed for them to go without losing heart. The persecution was so strong. And see the gospel, see the reading. He sees a vision, and there are ones coming out of great tribulation from all the tribes, people, and languages, standing before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed in white robes with palm branches in their hands. And one of the elders said to me, "These are the ones coming out of the great tribulation." Now they are saints. Those who went through mill, those who went through hardship by saying yes to the Lord, and they have their reward there. So that's the strength that the word gives them. my dear friends. So they shall hunger no more, neither thirst anymore. The sun shall not strike them, nor any scorching heat. For the Lamb in the midst of the throne will be their shepherd. Mind the word. That Lamb is going to be their shepherd. So that Lamb shepherd, every shepherd should be a lamb at a point. You cannot be a good shepherd if you aren't a lamb, a sheep before the Father. Jesus became the good shepherd. Before becoming good shepherd, he became the sheep before the Father. If you read Isaiah chapter 50, verse 4 onwards, the suffering servant, he will wake me up every morning to teach to speak like a teacher and to hear like a student. We need to listen to him because it's his sheep. As parents, as leaders, my dear friends, you're called to become another leader, another shepherd. But then how to direct the people? How to direct your children if you don't listen carefully? Sheep, shepherd, relationship is based on listening, my dear friends. And we are so busy. We are in a rat race. We hardly listen. In our prayers, we all parrot our prayers, isn't it? We don't listen. We don't have a place. In Psalm 46 verse 10 it is said, "Be still and know that I am your Lord." In that stillness, as Elijah heard the voice in a whispering sound, not in a storm, not in an earthquake, no. In a tendril or a whispering breeze of the wind, he heard the voice of the Father. My dear friends, so it's important that my sheep know me and I know them. How to know? Know, the word know in the Bible, it's very deep. It's in complete union with another person. When angel Gabriel appeared to Mary and said, "You are going to bear the Son of God, you are going to bear a child," and she said, "I don't know a man." Knowing in Hebrew, it's complete union with another person. So my sheep know me and I know them. You become completely in communion with the Lord. Complete connection. Sheep is a very vulnerable creature, my dear friends. Very vulnerable creature. All the other animals, they have their own defense mechanisms. They can camouflage, run or attack. But when it comes to sheep, completely vulnerable. No defense mechanism at all. The sheep's only defense mechanism is the voice of the shepherd. If he hears the voice of the shepherd, they are comfortable. So when they were put in the flock, they know their master's voice practically. They identify their master's voice. And each and every sheep had a name. So when all the sheep are together, all the shepherds put their flocks together because of security reasons. In the morning, the shepherd comes to the sheep gate and call them. They will come because they know their master's voice. So how? By being with the Lord. So we are ourselves, when it comes to ourselves, my dear friends, we are so lost. We are lost in the noise of the world. We seldom hear the voice of God. So it's high time. It's high time that we sit and learn to listen. That's exactly why the Lord asked Peter, "Do you love me more than others do? If you love me, take care of my sheep." Because you don't have a direct connection with my sheep. It's not your sheep, it's my sheep. So as responsible parenthood, as parents, you can never bulldoze your way on your children, no. Because they are his sheep. So you have to listen properly like a sheep. laying your head on the chest of the shepherd, listening to the voice of his love, and identify your calling. And then you have a duty towards your sheep. You cannot use them. You cannot harm them, inflict pain on them. No. You're accountable. You're practically 100% accountable, because this is his sheep, not yours. My dear friends, we are all wounded healers. We are all wounded healers. Like the persecuted community, we are all persecuted. We are broken. We are crushed. We are wounded. As Peter was wounded, that's exactly why we should be sheep before that good shepherd. Each and every morning, we should go to him with our wounded nature and identify my woundedness and my brokenness. Let the blood of Christ heal me completely. And then I go out and serve the Lord. My dear friends, so it's a beautiful calling today with all the readings. How Peter, how Paul, the early Christian communities went to pagan lands and they were preaching, and all the Hellenistic Jews, those who are not Jew, those are all the converts, they listened to them. Joyfully they listened to them. So-called Jews, traditional Jews, they were jealous. They could not listen to them. Their inflected minds, with their pride, they're strong like Meribah and Massa. They are not ready to listen. If you don't listen, you can't be a shepherd or sheep. So they were jealous, and all the pagans came in numbers when they were preaching. They were joyfully listening, and they all became the sheep of that flock. So despite your status, despite your religion, so-called positions in the church, if you don't listen to the shepherd, you are done. It's always conditional whether you listen to your shepherd, the voice of God. You can do traditionally, you can do many things. You can go by the current, and activity-wise, you can perform many things without listening. You read Matthew chapter 7, verse 21 onwards. The Lord is saying, I don't know you. Lord, in your name we have performed miracles. In your name we have exorcised. We have done great things in your name. But the Lord is saying, I don't know you. Do you listen? Do you hear my voice? Let's stop for a moment and recheck whether I'm going in his direction. Do I love him more than others do? Is he my shepherd? The promptings of my shepherd, beckoning of my shepherd. Each and every morning, before everything, I should listen to him. And the way he directs me, like a shepherd directs the sheep. So I should get that direction. And when I get that direction, and I begin to love him, he will heal my wounds. So with that anointing, I have a duty towards my sheep, the given flock. So I have to take care of them. Pope Francis beautifully says, the shepherd who bear the stink of the sheep. If you want to be a shepherd, you have to bear the stink of the sheep. The weakness, the brokenness, you have to bear that. Otherwise, you can't be a shepherd. For that, you need strength. That's exactly how you get the strength from above. We are heading towards Pentecost. The Lord is asking in Luke chapter 24:49 itself, wait in Jerusalem until you receive power from above. So we are in these 50 days of preparation for the Pentecost. We need a new church with a shepherding role where we bear the stink of the sheep, where we have strength to say yes to the Lord and to give our life. It's agape life, agape love, who lay their life for the sheep, because we have a reward in heaven. That's exactly the vision of John in Revelation. All the people, they are in numbers. They are washed with the blood of the sheep, the blood of the lamb. And now they are in glory. It's a eschatological vision. We are journeying towards heaven. Now we have to say yes to the Lord. Now we have to sacrifice. We have to let go. We have to break ourselves to love each other because there's a reward waiting. So let's journey towards the green pasture, ever perpetual green pasture in heaven. That good shepherd would lead us towards that goal and get the strength. Listen to him despite the noise of the world. The voice should be heard so that you will love your sheep as the good shepherd has loved you in this journey. Amen. We all stand and profess our faith.